Hey guys, it's me from Food Republic. Today I'm going to show you how to make pizza at home. It's actually super easy to do and you can customize it exactly to your liking. And we're going to be making two pizzas today, one with a really classic New York style burrata, and then we'll also be making a Detroit style pizza with sausage and pepperoni. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing that we need is our dough. For this recipe, it's going to make enough for two 12-inch pizzas. So if you want to make one large pizza or two medium pizzas, it's up to you. So in a large bowl, we're going to combine the ingredients. We've got 3 cups of flour, 1 teaspoon of sugar, 1 teaspoon of salt, and then 1 tablespoon of instant yeast. We're going to mix all these ingredients together in the bowl and then slowly start adding in our 1 cup of warm water and then 1 to 4 cup of olive oil. We just want to mix it until everything is incorporated, and then we're going to let it rest for about 10 minutes. Then we're going to knead it on a lightly floured surface for about 5 to 7 minutes, or until it's smooth and elastic. If you don't have the right kind of pans for your pizzas, I'll leave some links down below so you can check those out. So once we've got our dough all even, we're going to roll it out into a circle and we're going to put it into our pizza pan. We're going to repeat the process for both of these pizzas here today. But once you have your dough evenly distributed among the pans, we're going to let them rise in a warm place for about 45 minutes or until doubled in size. While the dough is rising, let's go ahead and get started on our sauce. We're going to get a small pot on low heat and add 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Once the oil is shimmering, we're going to add in our 4 cloves of minced garlic and cook this on low for about 2 minutes or until fragrant. Then we're going to add in our 1 28-ounce can of crushed tomatoes, 1 15-ounce can of tomato sauce, and then a pinch of salt and pepper. We're going to bring this to a simmer and cook it on low for about 15 minutes. You could definitely use store-bought pizza sauce if you want to save yourself some time, but this homemade stuff is pretty good, so I recommend giving it a shot. Next up, we're going to prepare our burrata. So I went ahead and bought a fresh mozzarella ball, and we're going to cut it up into little cubes and set it aside. Next up, we're going to prepare our toppings. So for the burrata pizza, we're going to slice up some fresh basil, and then we'll also get our balsamic glaze ready. Once our dough has doubled in size, we're going to punch it down and then we're going to roll it out and place it in our pizza pan. We're going to roll it out just slightly bigger than the pan because the dough will shrink as it cooks. So after we have it evenly distributed, we're going to press it out and then we're going to tuck it in around the edges. Now we're going to roll the edges of the dough out just slightly to create a little crust. Then we're going to brush on some olive oil and we're going to spread our sauce evenly across the top. We're going to sprinkle on some salt and pepper, and then we're going to add on our mozzarella cheese, and then we're going to top it off with the remaining sauce. Again, just trying to keep it nice and even. Then we're going to take that fresh basil and we're going to scatter it around the pizza. Then we're going to add on our burrata and we're going to drizzle the whole thing with some balsamic glaze. Now let's talk about the Detroit style pizza. The only difference with this one is instead of rolling it out in a circle, we're actually going to roll it out into a rectangle. It's going to be a little bit more of a square shape, and we're going to tuck it into the corners. This style of pizza, the cheese actually goes on before the sauce. So after we've rolled it out, we're going to press it into the pan, and then we're going to sprinkle on the mozzarella cheese. And then we're going to take our sauce, and we're going to dollop it on top. Now remember, with Detroit style pizza, the sauce goes on top of the cheese, and it's not distributed evenly like it was on our other pizza. Instead, they put it on in these little clumps and then it bubbles up while it's cooking. Then we're going to add on our pepperoni and sausage. I'm using pre-cooked breakfast sausage here to save myself some time, but feel free to cook your own if you want. And then we're going to sprinkle it all on top with some Parmesan cheese. We're going to let these pizzas bake in a preheated oven to 450 degrees for about 12 to 15 minutes or until golden brown and the cheese is melted and bubbly. If you like your pizza extra crispy, you can always broil them for a couple minutes at the end. But we're going to start checking them at the 12-minute mark so we don't overbake them. While our pizzas are baking, let's go ahead and make the ranch dressing. In a small bowl, we're going to combine 1 cup of buttermilk, 1.2 cup of mayonnaise, 1 clove of minced garlic, 1.4 teaspoon of salt, 1.4 teaspoon of black pepper, and then 1.4 teaspoon of onion powder. We're going to mix this all together, and then we're going to pour it into a squeeze bottle, and then we'll set it aside for later. Once our pizzas are done baking, we're going to take them out and let them cool for a couple minutes before slicing. We're going to slice the Detroit-style pizza into squares, and then we're going to slice the other pizza into triangles. Here are our final results. Looks good, right? Let's go ahead and dig in. Now, this was a really classic pizza with the burrata and the balsamic glaze added on top. The burrata gave it a really creamy and rich texture, and the balsamic glaze added a nice acidity that cut through all the richness. I also sprinkled on some sea salt and cracked some black pepper on top. And if you're a fan of pizzas with pesto, you could definitely try adding some pesto instead of the balsamic glaze, or maybe even a combination of the two. Another thing you could do is add some prosciutto on top before you put it in the oven. You could get really creative with the toppings on this pizza. This Detroit-style pizza was really tasty. And what's great about this style of pizza is that it's really thick, so it has a lot of room for toppings. If you wanted to add some bacon to this, that would be really tasty. Or if you wanted to add some mushrooms, onions, or peppers, you could do that as well. I like the fact that the sauce is chunky and it's not distributed evenly because it gives each bite a different flavor and texture. And the Parmesan cheese sprinkled on top adds a nice salty and savory flavor. And don't forget to serve your pizza with some freshly grated Parmesan cheese and a side of ranch dressing. It really takes it to the next level. So now I want to hear from you guys. What's your favorite pizza topping? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.